turning to business news now with Nona Peltier. And Nona, a record number of people moved to New Zealand last month, along with a record number of tourists. So what are the latest numbers telling us?
Well, they're telling us that basically we had a lot of people come to New Zealand last month, including the Lions tour. So that was that added quite a lot to the visitor numbers. What, 21,500? But surprisingly, that's not as many as we had in the past. In 2005, there was 25,000, so fewer. But then fewer, I guess, rugby fans coming over, but there was a lot more people coming from Australia. So overall, our annual numbers are up 17% on the year earlier in terms of visitor numbers. And for migrants, 72,000 annual to the end of June. That's 72,000 people moved to New Zealand in the year ended June. And that's a net number, so it's a lot of people. We're not expecting that number to slow down. There's lots of demand for labor and so on, so you can expect that to be a steady increase. And of course, we're heading into the busy tourist season, so you can even expect more tourists. So find some space at the table.
Indeed. Now, a big day on the markets for the New Zealand dollar.
Yeah, a really big day. So the New Zealand dollar, look, I was here yesterday around the same time. Since then, the New Zealand dollar has risen almost a whole cent against the U.S. And that's partly because the U.S. Federal Reserve has kind of put a bit of cold water on the idea of interest rate hikes this year with weaker economic data than people were expecting in the United States. At the same time, the European Central Banker, he was a bit more bullish about how things are going in Europe and is looking at potentially stopping some of that quantitative easing that's been going on for many years. And closer to home, one of the Reserve Bank of Australia officials kind of was a little bit too dovish on the Australian currency, and that all combined to raise the Kiwi. And to top it all off, there was an interview with our Finance Minister, Stephen Joyce, who said he wasn't really worried about the strength of the local currency, and that was enough to send it soaring. So that all combined, a lot of people talking, moved the currency almost a whole cent. So 74.2 US cents and 94 cents Australian, still quite strong. 57.2 British pence. And in terms of our top 50 index, the NZX share market, well, we fell only 2 points, just two, to 7,000.
So much fallout from the Fletcher Building story?
A little bit more, but not enough to offset the gains that we saw in the market today. So Fletcher Building lost another 11 cents to $7.48, and it was on large turnover. But nevertheless, we finished at 7,671, which is pretty close to our record high, which is just above 7,700.
Nona,
and that's it.
Thank you very much, Nona.